Good morning, it's May 5th. Welcome to Community Media Medford, your public access station in this city. So, Chief Sacco had another one of his police meetings over at the Senior Center. They're moving them around now. In his infinite wisdom, Chief Sacco did not get a place that was conducive to parking. But, to his credit, the Senior Center at least lets the seniors see what he's up to. Now, Chief Sacco's been in for a while, and outside of this specific video, which is about public service, we'll have an additional video soon about term limits. And Leo Sacco didn't show me anything as a resident, as one of his employers. Chief Sacco did not show me one good reason why he should remain as police chief of Medford. So let's get down to the heart of the matter. When Stephanie Burke had 4 people show up, 4 people, and 2 of them are activists, Cheryl and myself. So you have to kind of look at it as, well, Cheryl, Joe Vig, Bob Penta, Andy Castanetti, the usual cast of characters, pun intended, Castanetti. When they show up, you expect them to show up. We're the people that are keeping these politicians honest. Let's be honest about it. So in essence, Stephanie Burke had 2 people show up at that first meeting where she was. She looked out at the audience. I wish I had my Facebook Live on at the time. She goes, "There are more department heads here than citizens." You think, Stephanie? So Chief Sacco, he had a room full of people, 40, 50 people. A quarter of the people in the room, possibly. You can watch my videos and count all the heads if you'd like. A quarter of the room, a fifth of the room, were police officers. So you got the police chief telling you that he's down officers, that he needs more officers. And if there's, let's guess, 105 on the force, you got a seventh of the force in the room. Well, thank God we had 15 police officers in the room, because that obese joke of a city council president was sitting about 3 seats away from me. The man I vanquished in criminal court, Richard F. Caraviello, the police should have arrested him that night for lying to the police, for allegedly committing perjury. Now, I will go on the record saying Rick Caraviello lied to the police. I will allege that he committed perjury on January 31, 2017 in Cambridge District Court. Now, if you're an officer of the law, you start investigating Richard F. Caraviello, the stumbling, mumbling moron who needs a diction course. He should hear what the other politicians are saying about him. Rick, your ears must be ringing, because, you know, I told one politician, I said, Rick is not on your side. He's with Stephanie Burke. And then I put up a big sign from West Medford that I found behind a liquor store. You gotta love it. Caraviello has this huge sign behind a liquor store, and you've seen it on my blog. And if you haven't, just email me, informationcentral2@gmail.com, and I'll repost it. So behind a liquor store, we see the audience that Mr. Caraviello is looking for. He's got this huge Caraviello for city council above Stephanie Burke. Now, Mr. Caraviello, in nicer days, in days when we were getting along somewhat, he'd said to me, I should be running for mayor. What an egotistical joke. Do you ever watch the city council videos, Rick? Tonight's discussion. No, discussion doesn't have 2 D's in it, Rick. It's discussion. They can't articulate. They can't communicate. They take your money and they run. So let's get back to Chief Sacco. You know, when you say community, better policing by community involvement, whatever that old tagline was that you stopped using, have a little integrity and mean it. So when the police have a problem, they come to me. You know, a gas station gets robbed, and they ask for the video surveillance, and they get it. And I hear that they apprehended the individuals who committed the robbery. Interesting thing, because the video camera's rolling, and I was in Cambridge that night, I was going to a club, and it's strange. I probably have a snapshot or a video or something, because I'm under a hamburger joint that's playing Jimi Hendrix. I'm writing a book on Hendrix, so it's like, there I am, like 7 o'clock at night, hearing this Hendrix thing. It's just a point of reference, because a couple of hours later, I guess the gas station gets robbed, but they had a getaway car on the street, allegedly. So the next morning, a detective comes over to the house and says he's doing the gumshoe thing, and to his credit, he was at Chief Sacco's little community session. But I appreciate gumshoe detectives, because as a journalist, I'm a gumshoe journalist, and I read on the internet a couple of days ago that, you know, gumshoe, pounding the pavement, finding the story. Yeah, I'm not psychic. I'll joke that I'm psychic. But maybe I am. I don't know. But the stories come to me. The stories come to me. So let's get back to Chief Sacco here. What kind of a police chief lets a senior citizen get slugged by a city clerk, and then Mark Rumley's nonsense, you know, Mark Rumley calls people nonsensical. Has he ever read his own communications? Well, I guess it takes one to know one, Mark. Hey, look, I admit the blog's delusional. It's funny. Comedy. I gave up a good career in comedy. I never started it, but it's, you know, but this is no laughing matter. We're talking about law enforcement. So the Attorney General's office writes me that law enforcement could be impeded if they tell us anything about Medford Community Cablevision. So for 4 years, we've got to sit here and like twiddle our thumbs. Do you ever twiddle your thumbs? That's what Medford residents are told to do. Twiddle your thumbs, Medford. We know there's 38 grand missing. It was in the Medford transcript, but hey, let's take it from the, you know, the con man that ran the nonprofit. Oh, there's nothing there. Sloppy bookkeeping. Well, how do two of the board members go on the air and give financial advice, the money managers? They give a call for action, which is wrong, absolutely wrong with public access, but heck, what the heck, they slid in when the president of the 501c3 used ex-board members to say he had a board of directors. He just, oh, here's the board meeting right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Brian's there. No, Brian left 5 years ago, and that's how I caught them. And Mark Rumley took my information and did a little further investigation, told me, Mark Rumley, the lawyer for the city, told me that he had a whole section in the TV3 situation where he was going to credit me, took my ideas and ran with them in the Rumley report. And as everyone knows, I wrote a first report that the mayor asked me for. TV3's out there. He had coffee with the mayor. No, I didn't have coffee with the mayor. I met with Richard Lee and Mayor McGlynn about the TV3 mess. And now, coincidentally, I met with the mayor, and years later, they're shut down. You can do the simple math, because it wasn't the city council that originally shut them down, and it wasn't the mayor, and it wasn't the attorney general. It was one citizen looking out for your franchise fee. Now, Chief Sacco, how the heck do you stand in front of people, bouncing around like it's the Tonight Show? I'm paraphrasing Michael Douglas from the film Disclosure. Bouncing around like it's the Tonight Show. Oh, you're stuck with me. You don't have Barry Clementi. Oh, please. Where's Jerry Clementi when we need him? At least Jerry has the integrity to stand up and say what he is. Write a book. Get a movie of the week from what he did. This town has no shame. They'll beat up on seniors. They'll take advantage of us. They'll abuse us. But they don't get any work done. So, you know, why are your streets broken, Medford? Why do we have no access TV we pay millions for? And then Stephanie, oh, you don't have to say Muccini Burke anymore. See, she dropped the Muccini. It was then Stephanie Burke. And then I guess her husband was too much of an embarrassment with his vulgarities in front of... You know, Stephanie Burke's husband didn't just assault me, a senior citizen, when he used the F word. Well, it was the MF word at the Chevalier Theater, October 30th, 2015. Coincidentally, October 31, 2016, I prevailed over another clown from TV3 in a court of law. So, notice they only come out on Halloween. Truly. The ghouls. I call them the ghouls. So you got the Mayor Burke's ghoulish husband, Mayor. Calling Stephanie Burke the Mayor is like calling Heidi Riccio the doctor. Really. The doctor from, what, Nurse Nancy. Dare I say it. Oh, Nurse Jackie. Nurse Jackie, that's what it is, Nurse Jackie. I saw Nurse Jackie at a movie theater. That's where they did their debut, and you could go and critics could go and see it. It was fascinating watching a TV show in a movie theater because usually they send you screeners. You can watch it online. You can get a DVD in the mail. But they had Nurse Jackie at a theater. It was actually quite fun. But this is not television. This is not fiction. This is your life, Medford. So, why have the Medford police decided to invest time and energy and money into false charges of witness intimidation when you have a city councilor that lied to the police and possibly lied under oath? Now, here's the alleged perjury. When I taped a video of Pater Park with Mayor McGlynn, Mr. Caraviello went running out of Alden Chambers saying to me, "Oh, I have to go drive a client. You voted for your own pay raise, and you're going to go pick up nickels and dimes in your limo service?" Talk about on the fence, Caraviello. In a court of law, he did say this truthfully. "Are you known as on the fence, Caraviello?" "Yes." You know, now what Mayor McGlynn and Chief Sacco have in common is that they are slick politicians. Rick is not a slick politician. So I put Chief Sacco on the spot. And Chief, you know I was being very polite. And I don't have to be polite because I'm a citizen and you're a public servant. But I was very polite the way I phrased the question. I was very careful about it for the sake of the seniors in the room, not for you. For the sake of the seniors in the room, I was very polite. I mean, there was the culprit, Caraviello, sitting a few seats away from me. Watch my video. God bless you, late Pat Fiorello. God bless Pat Fiorello. The camera don't lie. Where's my phone? Here it is. Here's Rick Caraviello. Watch the video. Playing with his phone while Chief Sacco's talking. Now, watch John Falco, a very good politician. Falco's attentive. Falco's professional. And then that reject, Rick Caraviello, is futzing around with his... How immature. How utterly immature. And the police chief's talking. So you got Falco, a couple of department heads, Jenn Deverwood, and that nice woman from the Board of Health or whatever. Having a Camuso moment. I can't remember her name, but I know her name. But hey, look. It's last week of me being 62. No, I don't think they're going to assassinate me this weekend. But I'm turning 63. But you never know. Anyhow, you've got 15, 16 police officers. You've got Jenn Deverwood. You have the other department head, Falco, and reject Caraviello. And then myself and Andy Castanetti, who were just, two of the regulars. I was surprised more of the regulars didn't show up. And what substantial did we get out of this meeting? I had to leave early because they ran the meeting 25 minutes late. Some of us have deadlines. I'm up early in the morning doing this video for you. So let's get down to brass tacks here. You have a police force where Stephen LeBert ran rampant for years. Sacco swept it all under the rug. I mean, I had an encounter with LeBert. I filed a police report on that 501c3, TV3. LeBert either acted like he was calling an ex-board member, or he actually called him. And I wrote a public records request. Sacco has not answered one public records request other than to press false charges on me. They started the false charges December 8th, 2015, because on December 3rd, 2015, this had nothing to do with witness intimidation. This is called retaliation. I had the audacity to ask about the bomb-sniffing dogs at the high school. And the varsity coach. Oh, they don't want to know about the varsity coach. Well, why not? You're the police. So, remember when $3,000 in copper was missing from the Medford Housing Authority? And, oh, wow, half the money shows up in the desk of one of the friends of Mayor McGlynn's. Golly gee, how interesting. So, I wrote to the police and told them where the metal was allegedly melted, in Everett. And I asked the police if they ever got a receipt for the melted copper. Nothing! Quality policing through community involvement. Let's see. I asked for the financial records of TV3. Crickets. I asked if the police got the receipt for the melted copper. The voice of silence. You ask about the stolen election. You press charges on a city clerk who's violent, ugly, and stupid. VUS. That's you, Edward P. Finn. Violent, ugly, and stupid. And this Medford, you put up with this? It's time to wake up, Medford. They stole your election. You got a hack in the corner office. It looks like the Isle of Lesbos, and that's not said to be denigrating. It's just to say there's all women there. It's like the Queen of Outer Space, Venus, where Zsa Zsa Gabor, the planet full of women. What is Stephanie Burke allergic to men? I get it, Stephanie. If you married the wrong guy, you might not have an affection for men. We get that. I mean, my first encounter with your husband, he called me something that begins with M and has F in the middle, in front of a bunch of seniors. The mayor's husband assaulted seniors, residents, a bunch of us, because there's a crowd of people in the auditorium. I'm legitimately there to videotape. And that foul-mouthed, discretion being the better part of valor, the 17 words that just appeared at the top of my screen. That individual, what's he doing working at the court when he should be in court? He's on the wrong side of the bench. You watch The Matrix? Of course you've seen The Matrix. What did Joe Pantoliano tell Neo? You see an agent, you run. Because the agents were illegitimate, much like this administration. You see that clerk's name on the docket, you ask for change of venue, you run. That's not legal advice, that's just good, solid, logical advice. But what do I know? Judge Lamoth called me very, very logical. Judge Fitzpatrick said, you're an intelligent man. So, this intelligent man is telling you, we need a new police chief. We need a new police chief. This is Community Media Medford. And this is hard work. It's a registered Medford business, Community Media Medford. And you can sponsor this site. In fact, you're invited to sponsor this site. So, Joe Viglione at yahoo.com, JoeViglione at yahoo.com. And if you want to sponsor the site, just send some PayPal over. You can put my address, joeviglione at yahoo.com. JOEVIGLIONE at Yahoo. And you can sponsor this site via PayPal. And please do, because I've spent a lot of time helping this community get the word out. So please consider sponsoring this site, and you'll get more communiques from me. And I got lots more to talk about on Chief Sacco. I'm going to be very specific and have the talking points all there for the community to see. Talking points, not in the political sense, talking points in their public service. Oh, that's a Rick Caraviello moment. Excuse me. They are public servants. We are the public. They work for us. This is a video about another Rick Caraviello moment. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to edit this. Another senior moment. They are public servants. They work for us. They'll retaliate for this video, most likely. They should have me running the access station. And ponder this for a moment. Jack Dempsey's silent movies are an embarrassment to the city. Do you know he gets $75K of the franchise fee? Every year he gets $75K of the franchise fee. He won't use microphones. We call them lav mics that you attach to your collar. You can use a regular singing microphone. He's too lazy to do that. He just turns the camera on. Watch my video of Chief Sacco. Listen how crystal clear you can hear his voice. You can hear Andy Castanetti in the back of the senior center. And then watch the silent movies of Jack Dempsey. This is what Mayor Burke, this is what Mayor McGlynn are giving the citizens of Medford. Let them eat jelly beans, Ronald Reagan. Bread and circuses. That's what they're giving you. Bread and circuses. And they're all connected. Mark Rumley, Chief Sacco, Mayor Burke, Mayor McGlynn, Burke's hubby. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. You know, I think on the new TV station we'll do a parody of the Munsters. And we'll pull people together who probably don't know each other. The varsity coach, the young lady who was with the varsity coach, the alleged inebriated fellow who swore at me at the Chevalier, then the white-haired mayor, and then the other white-haired mayor. You ever want to see Mayor McGlynn in drag, take a look at Stephanie Burke. Your dream will come true. It's 23 minutes of this. I think it's time to say, get ready for the next video. This was about public service. The next one is term limits. You see where we're going. Guardians of the Galaxy to everyone.